The Diary of a Certified Psychopath. Off the crank. With the aid of a prominently branded raspberry blue beverage for non-electrolyzed hydration, combined with several dozen extra cubic meters of swipe-sensitive headwind to facilitate my data dungeon's customizable microclimate, which today was configured to emulate the ambient conditions of a balmy Barbadian sunset, my core temperature remained low enough for a heavy heart to steadily beat between 65 and 80% of its lifetime peak, throughout 3/4 of an aerobically deconstructed hour, at least according to Professor Polar's real-time ECG. A viscerally viable rate of rigour that allowed the aforementioned vital organ to disregard its secondary cardiovascular duty of pumping blood around the veins fast enough to dump out excess body heat, and instead focus on its principal role of supplying recycled oxygen to various slack muscle groups. This in turn ensured that zonal parity was maintained with the metered power I generated whilst mixing and mashing my way through 30 surge-protected kilometres in the turbulent slipstream of Yumi's dancing drafters, snaking up switchbacks, rumbling over cobbles, and matching cadences with giant manta rays, all of the while bagging yet further bars of bot-accelerated bitcoins and priceless experience into the bargain. Hell, even during an unplanned 20-kilometre coda with both crank-centric variables compositionally crafted by the largos, allegros, crescendos and fortissimos of a mortally curated classical playlist, there remained enough left in a pair of expressive quads to average roughly 99.9% less metered power, or 251,170 fewer watts, than Jeremy Clarkson's pre-loved Lamborghini tractor, which, as was repeatedly revealed in the 4th season and episode of the popular ex-petrol head-turned-reluctant pig farmer's smash-hit Amazon Prime series, pumps 342 fossil-fueled horsepower out of its 8-litre engine. Had Strava's aerobically disposed motion militia one beat of musical appreciation between their algorithmic ears, they'd have likely skimmed across this session's superficial data and spewed out something along these staves. A physically animated and artistically well-characterized recycle of air keyboard executed with your flat feet, wherein a high percentage of cadences and power aligned accurately with the tempi and dynamics harboured by a challenging programme of late Romantic repertoire. Commencing with Chopin's second scherzo, you observed its emotive main melody with a series of unseated contortions, remaining faithful to the composer's time signature and avoiding any over-pedalled chords during the lyrical middle section, which was effectively utilised for saddled recovery and afforded dimension to one of Chopin's most celebrated works. Stomping through the triumphant coda's accelerating arpeggios proved an informed decision, on account of the performance's subtle rubato, which only threw you off 3 strokes during the final bars. Proceeding with no stationary mid-session interval into a revolutionary interpretation of Liszt's infernal Dante sonata, rendered by the legendary Hungarian virtuoso George Cifra, was a risky gamble given your tapering fitness levels, since such a musically structured workout was devised by your former stronger self to make John's short mix feel like a post-session Jack Daniels. The piece's daunting array of technical obstacles include thunderous double-octave descents, rapidly alternating chords and resonant tremulos, all accentuating the musical impact of a majestic main melody that reprises in profoundly contrasting arrangements throughout its 15-minute duration. Cifra's explosive crescendos in this legendary performance should be mirrored by power bombs that would see most thoroughbred fast twitchers sail first across the finish line in one of Zwift's Premier League races, leaving their breathless rivals yards adrift. Your 500-watt firecrackers fell substantially short, but were sufficient nonetheless for one sub-30-second sprint during the last of 2 flat loops, which secured you a commendable 9th place on the segment's densely populated leaderboard.